Thanks to Paul for the invitation to speak today about MyGeekDen. And my name is Richard Harkness. I'm the owner of MyGeekDen. We're going to talk a little bit today about how I got to where I am now, running my own business, and have a little bit of look at the website as well as part of that. So a little bit about me and my journey. I trained as a doctor, went to the University of Manchester, and have been working as a doctor ever since I qualified in 1999. I've been doing that ever since, and specialised in general practice as part of that shortly after qualification. Well, I say shortly after, a couple of years after qualification, because it does take a couple of years to train as a GP. And I've been doing that ever since. And it wasn't until about 5 years ago that the thought started to really occur to me that I wasn't really happy doing what I was doing. At that time, it was just a sense of dissatisfaction and stress, and that it wasn't satisfying me or fulfilling me. I put that down a long time to being stuck between different careers within medicine or different opportunities, either to become a partner in a practice or work independently or what have you. And I could never really settle with anything. Nothing ever seemed to really appeal to me as a long-term option. So I ended up working as a locum GP for a very long time, which suited me better because I was my own boss, and worked the hours and days and things that I wanted to work. So that kind of thing did suit me better. But still, I did that for a number of years. And then, like I say, about 5 years ago, I got to the point where I thought something's not right and I need to change, but I didn't really know how to do that. I kind of took a bit of an extreme measure, you may say, but I took myself away in total isolation for a week. I got the okay with my wife to do that, don't worry. And I went off into the wilds of Northumberland, which I would later come to discover that was the place I actually stayed at was one of the most remote, least populated parts of England, much to my amazement. And it was indeed very quiet. But that space allowed me some time just to really sit with what was going on in my life and think about what I wanted to do. And then I didn't really have a plan of what I wanted to do, but the realization really dawned on me that I couldn't do medicine forever. It was just not going to happen, and I couldn't let it happen. And I needed something to change. And I spent that week really thinking about that. And although I didn't have a plan at that time of what I was going to do, I knew I had to take some action at that point. So coming off the back of that, I discussed it with my wife, and I reduced my hours down. And the idea was, okay, I'll reduce my hours, and therefore that'll give me time to think of something else I can do on the days that I'm not working. That didn't work out. I still ended up being completely stuck. And through some work earlier this year, actually, I realized the reason I was stuck with that was because I was trying to think of something that was almost too equivalent to medicine, if you like, whereby it had, I don't know how would you put it, but had the same kind of level of authority to it, or importance, or societal standing, whatever you want to kind of think of it as, but something that felt on par with a career in medicine. Which doesn't leave you an awful lot of wiggle room. If you're not going to move outside of medicine or within medicine into another speciality, which was something I'd explored in the years prior to this year, and found that was still not something I wanted to do, then there's not many other places you can go to really, other than things like maybe law and things like that. And I didn't want to do any of them either. So, and then thanks to David Wilkinson, my life coach that I work with, and the great work that I've done with him, I came to realize that I needed to just do something different, and it didn't matter what it was. It just needed to be something different and something that I wanted to do. So once I let go of that feeling of it has to be important and it has to be worthwhile, and it has to be amazing and big, and worth all of the years that I've trained and so on, and let go of all of that, then that's when the idea of, okay, well, what do I really enjoy doing, or what do I really like? And that's when I came to the thought of, well, I'm kind of like a bit of a geek and a nerd at heart. I love my science fiction. I love my cinema. I love science fiction stories. I like getting quite nerdy about facts and details and science and all these kind of things. So I thought I would quite like to run a small business based around that, and maybe sell things that appeal to me, that might appeal to other people who enjoy the things that I enjoy. So that was the genesis of the idea for MyGeekDen. From there, I went about the idea of starting a business, and was looking at kind of the usual things like Marvel and DC and all the kind of big sort of intellectual properties that come around geekdom, if you like. But I found in exploring that idea that you would then need to make sure that you bought from authorized retailers and so on. So that started to become a bit problematic, because the way that I wanted to run the business was not to hold inventory. I wanted to be able to sell it direct from the wholesalers, if you like, without having to have the stock myself. And that didn't seem to fit that business model, and I was worried about the legal implications and so on. So what I did was I then pivoted and thought, okay, well, I can't do that. It doesn't feel right for me to do that. So what can I do instead? So I did a bit of a mind map then around what are the things that people like me enjoy, and I created all sorts of ideas about, maybe they're into maths, and maybe they're into science a bit, and they love books, and they love cinema, and they love comic books, and so on. And then I started to think around, okay, well, if I can't actually have the mainstream into names and brands that people know, what things around that could I? So that's where I started to look for more unique and unusual things to sell on MyGeekDen. And once I'd reached that point, that felt okay. I felt that sat well with me, and I wasn't going to get into any legal sort of disputes or what have you about how the company runs. So then from there, I did a course to work out how to run the business and get it set up and so on, and I completed that course, and the course was very good, and by the end of it I actually had a functioning website, and that kind of gave me some momentum just to keep the ball rolling, and it stopped it just being an idea. It was there, it existed, and I could sort of keep moving with it. So but there was some things along the way with that didn't again sit well with my values, and those were around the way that you drive traffic to the store and things like that. And you'll see as I show you MyGeekDen that that manifests itself in the way that I run the website. So I suppose now might be a good time to take you over to the website. So I'll just go to the screen share. Just start on. There we go. I'm not very familiar with doing this, so I hope this is working. Right, so there we go. Okay, so I'm just going to move myself around a little bit. Go down there. Right, so here's the website. Just close that down. So this is the website, and the front screen. I created the logo myself. I wanted just to try and keep my costs to a minimum when starting the business. So just came up with a very simple, clean logo for myself, using something called Canva, which is an excellent website and has lots of free amazing tools on it if people want to check that out. And so that helped me create that. And this is the website that I built as part of doing the course, which has now been refined over the last 2 months or so to this point. And I just want to draw your attention to here at the top, where I've just added this recently to the store, actually. One of the things that is one of my values that's important to me is trying to minimize the environmental impact of what I do as a person. But now that I own a business as well, it was important to me to try and minimize the impact of the business as well. I run MyGeekDen from a building which has solar panels and is supplied by 100% electricity, green electricity and gas. And I own an electric vehicle as well, which is a new thing that I've just added on recently. Brilliant experience, by the way. So I thought, well, how can I do this for the business as well? So recently I found a way to automatically carbon offset all of the shipments that are made on behalf of the store. So I'm really pleased that at least I can try and minimize my impact a little bit for the business. So you can see we've got the front page here. At the moment, we've got the section there about wall decorations, which goes through into that, a little bit of a showcase of some of the images that I like from the website. At the bottom here, it's putting together a little bit of a collection. Some of these wall hangings have been particularly popular on the website. But as I say, I've tried to get some more novel items. For example, one of those which is a bit more unusual would be this one, which is a picture, a wall hanging of the serotonin molecule, which is the body's feel-good chemical. And I thought, you could use that as a motivational picture at home to remind you, because it's also the thing that you create during exercise as well. So it could be good for a gym space and things like that. And I like the nice clean imagery here for it. So just to come a bit further down, you'll see here that there's no reviews for this currently. And that's because I chose for it to be that way. Along the way of creating the website, as I say, the course that I was part of had suggested a number of ways of driving the numbers up to the site artificially, by paying Facebook likes, by putting in a couple of false reviews to make the store look more authentic and credential. And that really did not sit well with me at all. I wanted my store to be authentic and honest because it just wouldn't sit right with me if that's the way I ran things. So I've just left it as is. I've left it with no reviews, and all I ask of my customers is that if they do buy something from me, that they please leave me a review so that I can have some authentic reviews as part of the website. So I think if we go back to the home page again, and now is it this one? Yeah, there we go. So this one's actually been bought by Paul, and Paul has very kindly put a nice review there on the website, and I feel happy knowing that that's a 100% authentic review, and it looks like one as well. It doesn't look like, you know, some auto-generated content that you see on Amazon and the like, to make you think that it's something that's much more popular than it really is. So, as I say, being genuine and authentic is a core part of my business and my personality as well. So the sort of things that I sell, I've got a number of different areas. I've tried to break it up into collections, and that's expanding over time. And obviously, I've got ideas for more things to come. But mainly at the moment, it's divided into badges, bathroom clothing, some cushion covers, some gift ideas, things for the kitchen, and wall decorations. Over time, ideally, I would like to be able to have a number of items for every room in the house, so that people can literally geek their den and have something geeky in any room that they want to. So that's the idea. Well, just a little quick through and just show you a few things. So there we go. So we've got a number of different badges. So as I say, you can get the idea from what I was saying before about how I try to think of things based around the types of things that you know, geeky and nerdy people might like. So retro things are quite often popular. So went with the retro 80s TV badge. People tend to love books, so you know, we've got a book badge there for book lovers. And what's better than a book and a cup of tea or coffee? Same again with the books. It's not hoarding if it's books, and then something about signs as well. And I'm quite a believer in that principle as well, that people should speak up about the importance of signs against opinion, because science is fact until it's proven otherwise. So the other thing here as well is something from the 80s there as well. So I just love that because I love the 80s, and I love silly horror films as well. So perfect combination badge there. And I thought it was quite unique as well, which is, you know, something that I try to go for with the stores, to come up with some unique items. Let's go back to collections and bathroom. I don't think we've got too much in bathrooms. Oh, that's strange. That shouldn't happen. Okay, move it on. Clothing. So yeah, so this was a t-shirt, a retro t-shirt. Again, thinking about things that retro people like, so cassettes and floppy disk drives and VHS. And some of us will remember some of those things. UFOs, that was another thing I thought might be popular. Let's look. Cushion covers. I did love some of these cushion covers that I've put on. Again, went for the UFO theme, found some space and rocket themed cushion covers. And I love this really unique one with the circuit board type design on it. Gifts some things kind of cross over between categories, so you'll see some repeats there. This one's proved quite popular, to my surprise, but I'm really glad that it is, kind of combining maths and a nice little slogan there to create all you need is love on there. These are quite cool as well. I love these. I mean, I love kind of the days of vinyl and record decks, because that's what I grew up with. And I love the idea of the records being little mini coasters. And these two kind of fed into my background as well of biology and science, and I thought it was really beautiful how this company have turned these items from nature and science into beautiful little items of jewelry. So I think that's really lovely how they've done that. I was glad to be able to add them to the store. Kitchen. They're the same ones. And these are all the various wall decorations that I've got there. So one for the gamers, again, thinking about what people like, and science, again, with the periodic table, periodic elements, clock, space exploration with the man walks on the moon, very historic moment. Inspiring the little ones, I thought, with science as well, getting some nice fun things on their wall. There's a range of these I'm going to add to the store over time, but love this kind of slightly trippy astronaut in space there, and a wall decal for the gamers. I'm not sure how much people see loading bars anymore, but might be a bit of a thing of the past. So yeah, the catalogue obviously shows you the whole catalogue of all the pages. About is a little bit about me. There's me being strangled by Darth Vader. I've also recently added a little blog section to the website, just to write a little bit about things that interest me and to help generate some traffic for the website as well. And so I wrote this piece about Clue, which is one of my favorite lesser well known movies, and why I think people should watch it if they've not seen it. Fantastic film, by the way, absolutely fantastic. So have a read of that sometime. And it's a little bit there about shipping and handling, and I've mentioned already my piece about the environmental impact. So that's just a little tour around MyGeekDen. Hope you've enjoyed that. If you're interested in buying anything from MyGeekDen, or there's something that you would like to see in MyGeekDen, then please visit the website and get things in. Christmas is coming up, and because most of my products ship from China, it will be it can be, I say, up to 30 days before products arrive, but in reality most people have been getting them a lot sooner than that. But I would still urge you to be cautious, and if you want something before Christmas as a unique gift, and get your orders in. And obviously, if you know people who you think might like this website, please be very grateful if you could send them my way. And as I say, if anyone has any suggestions for things that they think would be good to have on MyGeekDen that kind of fit the things that I'm stocking and the philosophy that I have, I'd be very open to suggestions as well. Thanks very much for giving me this opportunity to speak today, and I hope you're all having a great day.